Hey friends, I have something unusual today. This is the Cuckoo Clock House by Tycole. It's their set number T2131, and this has 1,909 pieces. All right, and we will look at this. We'll figure out what we're looking at here. And because this is Monster Brick Reviews, I do have a motor to motorize what can be motorized. All right, what is this? It is a cuckoo clock. It is a house. It sits on a base. It's not meant to go on a wall. It has a working clock. It comes with this clock. It comes with the little hands, and you have to assemble those, put them in. A little bit nerve-wracking, but it's doable if you take your time. It takes a little AA battery in there, and it's been keeping time for over a week. And it has an alarm clock in it too. So I will, when we get to it, I'll kind of show you some of the pictures of what that looks like. It has an open style back. So we'll get a better look at what's going on the interior here. It has this tree. And I'll give you my thoughts on the build quality too. All right, so let's zoom in. And the first thing we want to do is we want to see the cuckoo. So cuckoo comes out of here. There is a lever that I turn. And here's the cuckoo. And it comes all the way out to where you see it there. It has these stickers on the breast pieces that go in, stickers on the wings there that you see, and then it goes back in. Bloop, out and in. Fairly smooth. There's a little bit of resistance, a little bit like I feel like I'm going to break it, but not really. So it's right on the edge there. But every time I use it, it is sort of reliable. This is not anything motorized or automatic, and it's not in any way connected to the clock. Everything you see as far as these decorations, they are not prints, they're stickers. So stickers everywhere. There's no lights either, but everything you're seeing are stickers. Yeah, and let's see real quick the scale, right? So here is a minifigure for scale. Quite a tall structure for a minifigure. You know, you could put a minifigure on this balcony too in front of the clock if you wanted to. And going back to the top there, I mean, we'll start there. You can see it's got a roof. The different pieces go here, and nothing really opens up. It's all kind of meant to stay in place, and there's really not that much going on inside that roof area as well. You can see that we have the mechanism that's in here, and what I'm turning to make all this happen is this lever right there. So this lever right here, when I'm turning it this direction, you see this ratcheted brick go in and out. And so there's all these gears that are turning as you're doing that. So that's how it's happening. There's a lot of mechanics just to get that one piece going. And it uses a rubber band right there in order to pull it back in. All right, so that's what's going on there. Oh, and the tree just fell down. This tree, this is a good time to talk about this tree. This was the worst part of this build, is this tree. I mean, look at these connections. These are not robust connections. This is like a pin that goes into that anti-stud on the bottom of that 1x1 brick, and then you do it again. And the bottom of it had that same kind of structure to it, but I tried to reinforce it with my own bar. So I added this bar to try and place it where it's supposed to go. And I replaced the brick down here so that it'd be a little bit more robust. But as you saw, it's only slightly more robust. And if you turn the model too fast, it falls right off. That's a bummer. That was my least favorite part. You know, the brick quality, to be honest, on this one is terrible. It's the 1x1 pieces, when I'm pressing them in, I mean, they're really hard to get together. And once they're together, if your alignment's off, then you've got to really force it to get that 1x1 just at the right angle. That was a huge pain. And then on things like this, they have you connect things in with pieces that are not normally meant to stay connected. They're just not robust enough to stay connected. So that was a bummer. Here in the rest of this interior, you can see that it's got kind of like, I think this is a coffee maker here with a couple of jars, and it's got an entire like dining setup right here as well, so enough for 4 people. I do like these windows that they have everywhere. They use these transparent orange pieces that are on these flaps, and you can see it's frosted on this one and in a couple other places. They do also have another frosted piece right here, but it's blocked by this plant, and it's also not even visible because the roof line is right there too. So the roof is right here and it's blocked. So I'm not really sure the point of it. And maybe it's just something where you can see better from the front. Like, yeah, from here, I guess you could think of it more as a house. And there's even a door right there too, but that door cannot be accessed or opened. Same with this other door here. You might be able to just make it out. There's a door there. So there's some architectural things that are a little strange. Not only can you not access it, those doors can't open either because they hit the roof. So whoever designed this, I think maybe they just sort of sketched it. Somebody did their best, but I don't know. There's not a lot of thought put into it actually being playable. This is the back of the clock, and the clock has a screw in it, so you have to use a screwdriver. It doesn't come with the screwdriver. Once you open it up, it has kind of a traditional clock mechanism in there, and you're able to put that AA battery in there, and it has an on-off switch for an alarm, and then you could have an alarm happen. I don't think anyone would ever practically use that alarm because to get back there, you couldn't actually shut the alarm off. So I don't know how that would work. So I think they just chose kind of the cheapest little mechanism they could, not really thinking about whether it was appropriate for this model. What's interesting is the top of that um, piece, or this white piece you have here, it's actually got studs on it. So it's built into the rest of the model. All right, and then there's this kind of, I don't know what this is. Maybe it was meant to be a pendulum. It's huge, but you can see it from the front. So that's in there too. There's a little clock, and there is one more kind of geared item in here, and that is right here. You'll see that there's this gear. So turning it, you might see that this gear is slightly moving back there. And what it's doing is it's turning this water wheel. So we can mechanize it, and I'll put a motor on it and you'll see it, but there's not too much to write home about, but we'll do it anyway. There's a ladder here, try to get up to the next floor. Some random kind of looking water pieces here that I think they tried to decorate with, but the clear trans and the blue trans, they don't really work together here, especially when you just place them on the brown. By the way, brown, oh my gosh, if you don't like lots and lots of brown, you're going to hate this set. There are so many browns in here. There's a dark brown, there's a normal brown, there's there's black, there's dark green. I mean, you just get kind of sick of the dark colors, and it after a while it gets really hard to understand what you're looking at in the instructions, because the instructions are not printed that great either. So anyway, that was kind of a pain. While we're here, you'll see that there is a calendar for January. It says January 2026. I don't know if that's actually accurate either. It is a strange choice to put a calendar on your model and to put a year for it on your model. That is a strange choice, but they did it. It says Cuckoo Clock here. I think these were both stickers. Yeah, these are both stickers. I do think that it was nice to have some of these pavers out in front, kind of welcoming. And these awnings are made with these dark green kind of like claw pieces there. This side, of course, has that tree we talked about. It's got this door that is the like flimsiest hinge connection I've ever seen. Like, look how flimsy that is. A sconce and another small tree build. So it looks like they tried to add punches of color here and there, but they weren't really strategic about it. It was like somebody didn't really think about the colors. Like maybe they built it on a monitor that was very bright. And that's the sense I got, was they built it in studio on a monitor that was really bright, and it probably looked beautiful on screen. And once it was actually produced with the bricks, it ended up way darker and probably a lot more kind of dreary than they had expected. So that's my kind of take on it. All right, so yeah, let's add a motor. Okay, so I'm going to do that real quick. They do add a provision for you to add a motor. So they have these 2 pins there, plus that axle, and I just removed this crank from it. And then you just plug this in, and there we've got our motor in there. All right, so I'm gonna turn that motor on, and I've got my train regulator ready to go, in order to work it. But I mean, here we go. That's all it does. And that's it. So if you wanted to add your own motor and leave that running, you totally could. But that motor only powers this water wheel. And it's not like it does anything else. It doesn't make the cuckoo come out, on its own or anything. That's still manual, and it's just still a different lever. Woo. But it is something you could show off if you wanted to do that. All right, final thoughts. Can I recommend this set? No, I don't think I would recommend this set. I don't think you'd be happy if you spent your money on this. It was just so difficult to put together. Once it's done, it's so dark and drab. I think it had a lot of potential because it has that working clock in it. And it is minifigure scale. It is an impressive build kind of when it's done, but it is a little drab. It just is so dark, and it's not really playable inside either, so I'm not sure what that's about. And then, like I said, the brick quality is really poor, and they have this tree here is super fragile. The tree felt like an afterthought in order to just sort of organic it up, but honestly, it's pretty poor. So I don't recommend it unless you love cuckoo clocks. Then get it. You'll probably enjoy having another clock made out of bricks. And I guess it's sort of a curse. I heard from my friends. I think MC and maybe Kirk Kim Bricks. I think they built a fantasy cuckoo clock that had mechanical problems, and I heard it was very difficult to put together. So maybe that's just a curse of cuckoo clocks, but maybe one day somebody will make a cuckoo clock that's amazing and that's really well done. But this is not it. All right, thanks for watching. Like the video if you like it, subscribe, and I'll be able to keep bringing you interesting sets like this one. Thanks so much.